Raul.
Hey, good morning.
Raul, hey man.
Haley.
Well, I wasn't even sure if we were using Zoom or Hangouts, and it sounds like we're using Zoom. I'm in the right place, apparently.
Oh, wait. So it's on Hangouts?
I don't think so. I think it is Zoom. I just couldn't remember.
Oh, okay.
uh, nice. Garish was just on a call with me this last hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he's switching rooms. He'll be joining here in a minute.
Okay.
So while we wait for him, I'll say that I'm in the process of losing my voice.
Okay.
And this last hour didn't help because I mostly monologued the hour. So the poor bastards on the last call, they really had to put up with it. But so as Garish goes to join, a couple of things. I was so the guys on the last call, they for the most part are in India, and they are students at a couple of universities there.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen them in the chat. You've seen them on the community call.
Yeah.
I was articulating to them. Just they've been around for a while, and I was just giving them a lot of hopefully what was inviting encouragement to say that that while that they should be getting back an equal amount as to what they're giving.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, as Ramesh has joined, I wanted to say maybe briefly the same thing to you and to Ramesh as well, and that is that my hope that it is, as you guys are participating here, that to whatever degree you're participating, you are being fed, that you're learning new things.
Mm-hmm.
And whether those are hard technical things, or whether those are community things, or just process things, or friendship and relationships, and just there's a whole litany of things to learn. Some of those things that I don't articulate to people often are the notion that that I'm hoping that you're getting built up. And I'm going to say this next thing maybe in advance of where you guys are comfortable or what you would want to do, or I don't know. But for the students, I was just showing them that there's a, let me pull it up. There's a, let me pull it up and share it. A layer 5 page on LinkedIn. And it's pretty nascent, and there's just a handful of followers, but that those students, I was encouraging them to list either under their experience or under their volunteer experience, or not at all, whatever they wanted to do, to list themselves as a contributor at layer 5, or for them maybe an intern at layer 5, or because I hope that really helps them as they go to do interviews and do resume building and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to extend that same concept here to you guys, to the extent that an affiliation is helpful, or that don't be shy, or don't affiliate, or rather that's one of the benefits. I mean, one of the benefits is that you'll get some hard skills. Great. Another one is just the association, the notion that there's a bunch of ways to evangelize the things that you've learned, to talk about the project, to talk about the community, service meshes and Kubernetes, and all of the things. There's a bunch of places that I have available to me to blog, and it's not just to the extent that they're available to me, they're available to you. And some of those, as an example, like some of those places are, well, they're linked on the bottom of this page. I'll send you the URL, but the new stack, or info world, or like places that get quite a few eyeballs, and I've done a lot with each of these places, and can help get your name as a byline or your name out there as well. Moreover, I have more people asking me to speak than I can possibly keep up with,
Yeah.
and quite literally, I'm having to turn some of them away, and I'd really rather turn them to you and say, hey, this individual, that they're capable of delivering the workshop that we give, or speaking on the subject, or talking about whatever it is. And so I wanted to make sure that I was sort of being very warm and embracing of you being here. One, thanking you for it and trying to help give back however we can. And two, expanding your notion of what that give back can be. Let me keep talking about that and say that, like later today, we'll be on the Service Mesh Interface community call where these are the meeting minutes of that call, where they're asking Meshery to be a compliance tool for SMI. SMI, this is the SMI spec.io. It's hosted by Microsoft. You can see Meshery right here as a partner. I might have shown you guys this before, I don't know. My point is that these are prominent stages upon which I would hope that your name or your affiliation or your work within eventually rubs off in a very good way on you personally and on the project. That there's a similar spec for VMware that will be associated with kind of banging on our door to come and participate. I just yesterday, if any of you are within the CNCF TOC calls, maybe that's the, anyway, I told you before that I'm establishing a new special interest group, network SIG, and that network SIG will govern more or less Envoy, gRPC, Linkerd, NATS, Network Service Mesh, CNI. This is another prominent venue, a vendor-neutral venue in which we will probably bring Meshery, like and so Ramesh, to your point, to your suggestion the other day, I didn't respond, but it was a good suggestion that has been our intention for quite some long time, and that is the notion that we would probably take Meshery to CNCF.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to be showcased. So when people get in for certifications and they'll just check out things. So that way we have some name there. That way we get exposed there.
Totally. Yeah. Speaking of certifications, this is funny because it was a topic of conversation on our last call. So guys, the last hour we spent with students in India, and part of that was, it was a reminder when someone had said that, I was reminded that I owe the Linux Foundation an answer, their general manager for training, and the program that creates the Kubernetes certified administrator and the Kubernetes certified developer. That the head of that program is asking me to create a service mesh course, and I had hinted to him that after having done that, or sort of the next step after that would be potentially a service mesh certification. And so there are other ways in which there's so much on my plate that just spilleth over. And so the faster that you guys ramp and come up to speed, the more quickly it will be spilling onto you if you desire those things. Sometimes there's money associated with those. Sometimes it's purely learnings and recognition and new relationships and opening of doors and other things that for those that are contributing to the project and to Layer 5 itself, I want for nothing more than you to be elevated, because in that process, the project and the company getting to be associated to you, affiliated with you, is a bi-directionally beneficial thing. So I had also told the students that they've been around contributing for so many months. They've gotten comfortable with some of the code base. They're not ready yet, but at some point, I very much desire for the maintainer title and literal permissions and GitHub to be opened up beyond what it is today. And just there's a path of growth and other more things to do, not only within Meshery, but within the service mesh community itself. One of those things is like, I think Ramesh, you've been around long enough that we've been talking about taking a 20 node cluster inside the CNCF's hardware lab and running and hammering the crap out of each of the service meshes that Meshery interfaces with, and taking and in combination with IBM, Google, Buoyant, HashiCorp, Cisco, I lose track of basically all of those that are in the VMware, that are in the ecosystem, to coordinate with them and collaborate with them on the publishing of these results and to make a significant splash in the community, or in the, not community, in the industry, that there are great plans here. We really want to accomplish that. The faster you ramp, the more time you spend, the sooner that will be accomplished, and the sooner I'll be able to just tweet the crap out of your name or whatever, just
Sure, yeah. I'm actually trying to go forward, but then for some reason or the other, due to work constraints, even last night I was awake till 2:00 for my, this will be all over by October 11th, and I'll have my time back. So I'm just counting on it.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good. Awesome. I'm counting on it too, or I'm hopeful to. Like, here's an example of some of the organizations that we partnered with so right now we're partnering with UT Austin to bring in folks through their boot camp, help them participate. I was only bringing this up really to say, because I want to take your pictures and get them in I want to trumpet the fact that there are a bunch of contributors, and that these contributors are making a significant impact. I'll show you guys briefly that, I guess as I just sort of go off talking about the impact that you're making, I'll say that there's a really ugly dashboard that just keeps track of 3 types of events that happen as and when people use Meshery. And so to just look at this last graph here, this is a bi-month, this is an events per month chart. There are 3 events. There's when a first-time user signs up to use Meshery, that's a sign-up event. When a user comes back and logs in for a second or third or 90th time. And then there's an event when someone runs a performance test, and we're cataloging those results so that we can publish those, we can analyze, and like I said, in combination with those other prominent tech companies, publish those results. We're tracking those things, and you guys are having more of an impact than, my point of showing you this is to say you're having more of an impact than you really know. So just by example, back in March, we started kind of tracking the signups, and I don't know what day in March we started tracking, but 3 new people came to try Meshery for the first time ever. And we occasionally give workshops, like the one with Rahul. And we have a spike in the number of people that try it out. And so April 17, May 27, June 26, this is great. These are good numbers. July, no workshops were given, but we still have new people organically coming to it. If you guys have noted in the Meshery channel in Slack, a guy named Anton Weiss just organically found out about Meshery, and he introduced himself yesterday. I think it was yesterday, the day before. Great introduction. basically, this looks like an awesome, he said this looks like a great and important project, and he wants to see how he can help, and he's already making suggestions and things. That's great. He is giving his own workshop, and I think he's going to do away with that and probably contribute to this one. Anyway, my point is outside of the workshops, people organically come to learn about Meshery. They're going to learn more about Meshery as we go to evangelize it more. I want to help you guys evangelize it. I want to help you guys get this into the CNCF, because if you've been contributing or you've been associated, it will just be more power to you, or it'll just be, or what an awesome thing that will be. I was telling the other students that like the vast majority of the world is yet to come to a mesh, but I wholeheartedly believe that for as pervasively used as containers are today, that I wouldn't say that for as pervasive as containers are, that you would find a mesh wherever containers are. That's not what I would say. I would say wherever you find Kubernetes, and certainly outside of Kubernetes as well, within 2 years, 3 years, you will just as pervasively and ubiquitously find a service mesh. And as such, my hope is you'll find a project, you'll find Meshery. I would hope. Anyway, we had, thanks to, Rahul's workshop and one that Garish gave, 41 people have signed up last month. And then we're only 2 days into October, but 3 new people in the first 2 days have already signed up. So it's awesome. It's happening. People are using it. I was just saying, like, a guy today just signed in, a guy from SAP. I don't know who Josh is, but I'm happy that hopefully he's finding value. That another person from Ripple, which is a blockchain place that I don't know who C-Ravel is, just that they're signing up organically. So I just want to give you guys a bit of encouragement and expand your minds a bit on how it is you might engage and where some of those engagements might go. Part of that is, I also want to say it's time for us to get rid of the logo here. And so if you've noticed the change in icon here, that's us testing out a new logo. And outside of a new logo for layer 5 to help get rid of that old one and separate the project from the community, from the company, we also need to create one for Meshery. So there's a draft that's been made that I'll share with you guys now. Saka. That I would love your critical feedback on. Sort of speak now or forever hold your peace type thing. But this was the thought around what that could be. I'll say that it is really hard not to make a cube looking logo, but like, for crying out loud, everybody has a cube. Everybody has a friggin' hexagon. Not everybody has a pentagon, but just like, anyway, trying to do something different, but tie the two forthcoming logos together was part of what we're trying to accomplish. I'll send you the layer 5 looking one. This, if you can see it, this was what layer 5 was turning out to be. I think I showed in the last community call where it was on the wall with the CNCF and some other logos in Ottawa. This is a one revision back. If you notice, there's no little tail on the 5. And we put a little tail on them to make sure that people didn't read it as an S. The problem with the little tail is that it also could be interpreted as a 6. And so we're still trying to get some more space and sort of work within, but that's what these are being, that's how these are coming out. And so if if you guys have other thoughts or feedback on why you think it won't work or what needs to change, speak up. If it isn't obvious, like the effort that we give here is very much a community-based one. So your feedback and involvement is really important.
So, Lee, what idea did you base the icon off of?
Yeah. Oh boy, don't get me started on that question. Let me, I'm losing my voice. So let me, I'm going to send you a doc because it's a long answer. And you're so appropriate in asking that question, because in order to give any feedback, you'd really need to say, well, what was the context? What was the goal? What's it supposed to be about? What's all of that? And so I'm going to put a link to that doc in our Slack chat. If you can't access it, then please just, request access. Yeah, totally. Read, please, like, comment on the doc, read throughs, make suggestions. Here, actually, and again, like, if this doesn't interest you guys, then don't spend time. But if it does, yeah, don't hesitate. So, Raul, remind me of what's a good email address for sharing Google Docs with you?
Okay. I'll share with you my personal one, because the one that I'm using right now is the work one. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. At first, when I saw the Meshery logo, I thought it was related to Star Trek.
See, that's good feedback. Shit, I'm gonna have to go look up the Star Trek logo because I didn't know.
Yeah, to the Borg.
Okay. Oh, I see. I think I just went on recording that I didn't remember what the Star Trek logo looked like. If somebody finds this recording, they might strip me of one of my nerd badges. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And just to make sure we're on the same page, is this picture that I'm putting into Slack, is this Star Trek logo the one that kind of like that came to mind for you?
No, it was more of the ship of the Borg. I'll show it to you later on.
Okay. Cool. And then, so guys, Ramesh, Raul, if you want to type your Gmail address or send it, I'll send over the folder that contains all the designs, because it really has been a long time coming. And you guys can kind of soak it in if you want to look through it. Having said all that, I have another meeting that starts in 3 minutes. I realized we didn't really accomplish what we wanted to normally accomplish in this call, which is like dig into active contributions. That's fine. Oh, for that picture, Raul, were you saying the current logo reminds you of that?
Yeah, the old one, the one that's on the MSI.
Got it. Yeah, totally. I see. Yeah, totally. That's funny. So anyway, while we normally want to like dig into some specifics and some issues, I realize I'm out of time anyway. That doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't be active in Slack and hitting up Garish and myself both there. So Raul, it's time to. My sense of it is it's one. I think that there may be a couple of other adapters, a couple of other repositories to take the that new changed badge over to. You might have hit them all, and I just haven't realized it yet. But if you would give a double check, because there might be a couple of others that still need it.
Yeah, no problem.
And then give some thought, if you would. I mean, maybe you haven't been exposed to enough of the project just yet, but and so you can't answer this well, and you don't have to answer it right now. But just like if you would, like, parse through some of the open issues, or just some aspects of both the layer 5, some aspects of the project, and signpost where you have most interest. Because my sense of it is that your GitHub foo was well beyond what I was anticipating it to be, and and that you're ready for another challenge, like kind of a different. One of those projects is this. There's the Meshery UI, which is React. There's Meshery itself, which is Go. There's Meshery CTL, which is Go. There's Raul, I remember now. It was the establishing the 2 different release channels that might be a point of interest to you. Kind of yeah, that's right. The next step that we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and it's like really, it's very much so needed. Yeah. If you haven't gotten a chance yet, the best place to both digest the current state of affairs here, and for you to add your own opinion and your own, to influence the project, is within that. Within the design, in the Meshery drive. There's a design doc for, I think it's called Meshery Build and Release Strategy.
I'll check for it, because I didn't recall reading about that release strategy. But yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay. Do you have access to the Meshery team drive?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna grab the link and point it out right now. But yeah, even if you just browsed in there, you would no doubt find it relatively quickly. That's awesome. Raul, and Ramesh as well. I mean, thanks for joining. Raul, I know this is like during work time for you, so
no problem.
Really appreciate you're able to join.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah. You
all of you have a great day. Yeah, take care. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Ramesh. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you soon, Raul.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.